So, here's what we know. You want to succeed? You want to make progress? You want to feel less like you're wasting your life away. But right now, you're just tired. Not sleepy tired, emotionally drained, mentally worn out, overwhelmed by the idea that you should be doing more, but physically unable to get off the couch. You're not alone. We get it. And as a company who helps people navigate their 20s, we've spent countless hours talking to folks in your shoes, trying to understand why exactly this happens. Why does it feel like everyone around you is moving forward in life while you're stuck in place? To answer that question, let's rewind the clock to the beginning of this year. You set some goals for yourself. Maybe it was a new job, maybe it was a promotion, maybe it was finding love or starting a family. Whatever it was, you wanted it badly. You could almost taste it, but then January happened. New job, new milestone, new relationship. You made some progress. Then February happened and your motivation dipped again. You wanted it, but then March happened and the world got harder. Now April rolled around and you find yourself feeling frustrated and hopeless. Here you are, stuck, frozen, exhausted. You want it just as badly as you did back in January, but even lifting your finger to start feels impossible. In all honesty, you feel kind of bad about yourself, like there's something wrong with you. Everyone else seems to be making moves and you're still standing in the same spot. Well, here's what no one tells you. You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined. You're carrying emotional fatigue no one can see. And it's okay if all you can do today is take a minute to acknowledge that what's happening, because when it comes to chasing your dreams, the finish line isn't the only thing that matters. The journey counts too. Let's take a step back and unpack this. When you imagine graduating university, getting your degree, walking across the stage with your head held high, and the future stretching before you, like an unpaved road, the whole world seems full of possibility. You're energized, optimistic, and ready to take on anything. This period often feels like the climax of your story, like the final boss battle where if you push hard enough and work smart enough, you'll win. But what happens after the final boss is defeated? What comes next? No one really talks about that part because for so many of us, the real struggles begin after the celebrations end. The problem is that this transition is rarely spoken about. In fact, from the time you enter school until you graduate, there's a good chance you've heard more than 1,000 commencement speeches. They tell you to shoot for the moon, chase your wildest dreams, and never settle. But these well-intentioned platitudes don't prepare you for the reality of feeling burnt out, beaten down, and wondering why it's so hard to get started. Here's the truth. After graduation, the playbook changes. If you've been playing the game of life by the rules of academia, you're gonna have to rewrite the rules yourself, and that can be scary. But here's the thing, you've already done it before. Remember the last time you had to learn a completely new set of rules? You were probably 5 years old and learning how to ride a bike. At the time, it felt impossible. But after falling a few times, scraping up some knees, and maybe shedding a few tears, eventually, you got the hang of it. And guess what? You didn't read a self-help book or watch a YouTube tutorial to figure it out. You just hopped on the bike and gave it a try. And in the process, you learned and grew along the way. That's how life works too. It's easy to feel lost when you're not sure what the rules are. So here are a few things to keep in mind as you rewrite your own playbook. First, every morning, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today? That's it. One small task. One action step. Sometimes the hardest part of any journey is taking that very first step. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just focus on what's right in front of you. What's one small thing you can do right now to move the needle just a tiny bit? Maybe it's journaling, researching, or sending out one application. Break your goals into smaller steps and celebrate each small win along the way. This way you won't get overwhelmed by the big picture while you're working on it. Second, remember that progress isn't always linear. Just because you experience a setback doesn't mean you're a failure. Sometimes you're going to 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Sometimes 3 steps forward and 5 steps back. And that's okay. It's all part of the journey. As long as you keep moving forward, even if it's just by 1 step, that's all that matters. Third, know when to rest. There's a quote that goes, "The man who goes farthest is not he who takes the greatest strides, but he who neither slumps nor rests." But sometimes, resting is exactly what you need to do. Life is a long-distance marathon, not a 100-meter dash. Pace yourself and don't burn out. Listen to your body and mind. Take breaks when you need them and recharge so you can come back stronger and more focused than ever. Fourth, focus on what you can control. One of the most empowering things you can do is to accept the things you cannot change, to identify what you can control, and to focus your energy on that. For example, you can't control whether or not you get that job, but you can control how well you prepare for the interview. You can't control the outcome of an interview, but you can control how you present yourself and showcase your skills. This mindset shift will not only help you stay focused on what you can influence, but it will also give you a sense of calm amidst the chaos. Fifth, remember that you're not alone. We get it. It's easy to feel isolated and alone when you're struggling, especially if it feels like everyone else is moving forward except you. But trust us, that's not the case. Reach out to friends, family, mentors, or even strangers who share similar journeys. Connecting with others who understand what you are going through can provide invaluable support and remind you that you are not alone. 6. Know when to seek professional help. If you're feeling stuck, consider reaching out to a therapist or counselor. They can provide guidance and tools to help you navigate your emotions and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Sometimes having someone to talk to who is trained in helping people process their feelings can make all the difference. Finally, be patient with yourself. This is probably the most important point of all. Be kind to yourself. Healing takes time. Setbacks happen. Progress isn't always linear, and that's okay. You're not a failure if you don't achieve everything you set out to do. In fact, you're doing great just by showing up and trying your best. Celebrate your small wins, learn from your setbacks, and keep moving forward at your own pace. Trust the journey. Look, we know this isn't the advice you were looking for. We wish we could tell you that the secret to success is just one big breakthrough away, but it's not. Success is a series of small, consistent actions taken over a long period of time. It's not about the destination, but about the journey. It's not about being perfect, but about doing your best. And that's what we hope you'll remember when things get tough. After graduation, the world can feel like a scary place. It's easy to feel lost, confused, and unsure of what to do next. But don't worry, we've been in your shoes and we know what it is like to feel burned out and stuck. We've created a free toolkit to help you through this transition. It includes a range of resources such as guides, worksheets, and trackers to help you stay organized and on track towards your goals. And best of all, it's completely free. Head over to our website to download your free copy today and start your post-grad journey on the right foot.